And we are back. Uh-oh. Camera again. Camera be messing up on me. Okay, there we go. We back. It's your boy Lil Dave. Got it. Hit that like button, comment, subscribe. Make sure y'all watch my podcast, Views from the Lake, out now. I'm gonna get straight into this. It looks like the best friend of Youngin's victim has allegedly spoke out. So we're gonna get into this video. I'm gonna let y'all see what he say, and then we'll elaborate on it. That's the guy that Pat's name was Chris, the one that got hit in the car.
I'm here to share my tribute to my friend Chris. This video is important to me because I want to honor the impact he had on my life and share the memories that we had together. Chris was an extraordinary person, and his story deserves to be told. Chris was born July 20.
Let me turn my Don't know why it's
27th, 2005 here in Salina, Kansas. He grew up here and he spent most of his life here. He graduated from high school.
Hold on, he said Kansas? You know, I live in Missouri. Hold on, that's like
Kansas. He grew up here and he spent most of his life here. He graduated from high school in May of 2023. I first met Chris in middle school through one of my best friends. And even though at the time we weren't particularly close, one memory from back then stands out perfectly, and it encapsulates our friendship perfectly. Chris loved to talk smack to me, would always talk shit, always be running his mouth, touch him, and I couldn't do anything to him. So my response was to grab him by his arm and swing him around and laughed it off, and we thought it was pretty funny. But a few years later, once we got closer, he told me that when that happened, it knocked the wind out of him. It really pissed him off for a long time, and he never said anything. Once we grew close, he told me that it was hilarious and that he low-key deserved it.
So
showed the way we would banter.
23, I think he was 19, 18, 19.
And our exaggeration to each other. And it was a perfect encapsulation of our friendship. Throughout the years in middle school, we weren't particularly close, but our relationship started to grow stronger in middle school. I remember us having our talking in the mornings, bullshitting, laughing. It's honestly one of the best parts of my life. One of my favorite parts of my life. I grew closer with some of my other friends. I also grew closer with Chris. We would start to talk more in school, start to bullshit more. We would just grow closer. Some of my best memories with Chris is when he would come over to my house and we would have late night game nights where he would bring his Xbox over and we'd try to stay up the whole night playing video.
Mainly just elaborating on how Chris was. But the title, as you can see in the title, my best friend was killed by Youngin. So, you know, let's see.
I remember we played, I think it was Cooking Frenzy, and we played it almost all night. We sat there grinded trying to get it down to a T. And it's one of the most fun I've ever had on video games. I'm not a big game person. I remember that being like super fun. And we would cuss each other out for fucking up, high five each other after we would get 3 stars on the match. Like, it was really fun. He was a car person. He knew everything, and I mean everything about cars. He could tell you the model, the specs, and even how to fix them. Like, he knew everything. Me, on the other hand, I don't know shit about cars. I don't give a fuck. As long as it gets me from point A to point B, that's all that matters to me. So I remember one day I needed to change the brakes on my car, and I didn't know what to do. I was nervous to work my car for the first time, and I remember him being more than happy to walk me through fixing my car. So that day after school, he came over to my house, brought all of his tools over, let me use all of his tools, and walked me through how to fix my brake pads. I'll never forget the confidence that gave me to have somebody.
I think that was the guy right there. Hold on, let's see.
I'll never forget the confidence.
I think that's the Chris guy right there that got hit by Youngin during the accident. Come running from the police.
That gave me to have somebody there helping me through something that I had no clue about. And he didn't charge me anything. That just shows the side of Chris that he's willing to help others, even though he can be sarcastic and exaggeratory and hyperbolic, that he still has a side and help people out that need it. And to me, that was invaluable. Being able to sit there and ask him for help when I didn't know what to do. And speaking of me not knowing anything about cars, I remember playing Forza Horizon with him, and I would do the stock default car options. Like I would do the default upgrades, default cars and everything. And he would sit there and he likes to fucking custom spec his cars out, custom tune it, custom everything. And he would smoke every single person he would race against, including me. He would smoke me. And even though I was getting my ass whooped, I'd always talk shit on him, always act like I was competing, but I was literally getting smoked the whole time. And I remember being able to go to him and asking him to fucking customize my cars for me because I didn't know shit. I didn't know anything. At all the school dances, would hang out with me anytime we didn't want to be on the dance floor. We both fucking hated the dances. Of course, our girlfriends drug us along, so we were there without choice. And anybody that knew Chris knew without a doubt had an energy drink on him. Everybody would tell him he was addicted, and he'd always make the joke, I can quit when I want to, but he never did, and he never could. Always had a monster on him. And I remember him playing Getting Over It, raging in my fucking bedroom. He said, everything's fine, I have an energy drink.
Final moment is taken before disaster. I've got an energy drink. It'll be fine.
And yeah, I would laugh my ass off at him raging. He would rage on the game so hard, and it was like 2, 3 a.m. My mom had to work the next day, and I remember him getting so mad. He started like beating the desk or whatever, and he started screaming. And my mom showed his respect for his elders and the people older than him, because he was like, my apologies, like I'll stop. And he did. After that point, after he realized he fucked up, he stopped. But one of the last memories he moved to Florida was gonna DJ for my mom at her birthday, at her 40th birthday. It was just funny. You can see in the pictures that he was having a blast. I was dressed in a mini skirt or a skirt and a crop top, and he was fucking laughing, having the time of his life. And it's nice to now look back and like see how much he was enjoying himself and how involved he was. Because now,
okay, people, so we can see his best friend came on. He's just giving his memories and stuff. Like, also see, I'm gonna take y'all into this. Also see that 1090 did a video on this as well. He dropped his a couple days ago. He kind of elaborates on the stuff I had dropped about 6 days ago, kind of like the same stuff. So I'm gonna let you get his take on it.
Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EOS. It's 1090 Jake. No rocking with y'all. Y'all rocking with me. For this video, we're going to be speaking on Florida rapper Youngin, who sped away from the police only to get into a devastating crash, killing one,
I love
injuring a few. Friday, July 26, 2024. It was 6:41 p.m. when police in Gainesville, Florida, noticed a black Infiniti with dark tints make a traffic violation. It was a simple stop bar violation, meaning they'd gone over the line in which they were supposed to be stopped. Officers would pull the vehicle over for the violation and the suspicion of illegal tint. As officers approached the car on foot, it took off at a high rate of speed. Officers then returned back to their patrol vehicle and turned off their emergency lights. According to the arrest report, at no time did officers give chase. Wow. That's when the call came in that the same Infiniti was just involved in a deadly crash. They were pulled over on Northeast 2nd and 10th Ave. They took off westbound down 10th, crossing Main Street, 2nd, and 4th before crashing on 6th. This was only 3 minutes away driving at a normal speed, so speeding probably took them less than 120 seconds to cause destruction. The Infiniti smashed into a red Honda that was left devastated.
Oh my gosh, look at that. Man, I think he was in the car by himself. Imagine if it was 1, 2, 3, man, everybody would have been. And that's the Infiniti they was driving. So it looks like most likely he was going this way. This car was trying to cross that way and got hit back. So you can see this is the light post and trees. So this car got hit with some. He had to be going. He probably was going to the max. I know that looked like a QX. We just had one of them. I know it's got like 180 on the dash. I know for sure he's going over 150. Look at that. What's so crazy is, did they say that Youngin got injured?
Killing the driver in what we can only hope was an immediate death. Witnesses in a state of shock would watch as the driver of the Infiniti exited the vehicle and ran from the scene.
Okay.
He'd leave behind.
No, that nigga was not hurt. They just said he got out and ran from the scene. No way he was.
Behind 3 others in his vehicle, one of which was dying. Paramedics would begin helping those left inside of the SUV as officers.
So he had 3 people.
Began setting up a perimeter.
3 people.
Shock would watch as the driver of the Infiniti exited the vehicle and ran from the scene. He'd leave behind 3 others in his vehicle, one of which was dying.
So we had a car.
Paramedics would begin helping those left inside of the SUV as officers began setting up a perimeter. 2 on-scene witnesses provided description from the scene, and a canine officer was able to locate the suspect hiding in a yard on 11th Ave with what appeared to be a broken ankle. He was identified as 21-year-old R.I.P Baker, and more commonly known as Lake City, Florida rapper Youngin. When taken into custody, Youngin was unable to walk without assistance and likely was only able to flee the scene off pure adrenaline. Youngin and the 3 others inside of the SUV he was driving were taken to the hospital with fractures and lacerations, but one of them was barely clinging on to life.
Understanding of what's going on, as you can see.
You thought it couldn't get any better.
He's in some deep stuff, and they said it was over a bar block. Now, even if you got guns in the car, I don't. Me personally, I just pull over. It ain't worth that. I also see that the family had did a little background on that, so y'all can catch up with that. I just want to update y'all with that. It's your boy Lil Dave Got It. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe, comment, share this video, and the more likes we get, it sends me into the algorithm. I can tell because the different viewing and watch hours. Don't forget to watch my podcast, Views from the Lake podcast, out now. Appreciate y'all.